Hello and good day everyone. I am Wong Ai Vee. My metric number is 147433. I am from Group 11 Humanities under Puan Kanchana Devi. I am here today for my individual oral presentation for the subject General English with my topic Life Was Not Easier a Century Ago. Okay, let's start. Oops, have the presentation started? Sorry for being so immersed to my gadget. Gadgets like handphone is so useful and interesting to me. Do you know that we could be addicted to it so easily? Have you imagined life without these technologies with us? Without these items, I think most of us cannot cope with it, right? However, that was the scenario a century ago. How is life a century ago? Of course, I have not experienced it, but we could see them through these pictures. Black and white photographs, bullock carts, hunting, tin mining, etc. These are the daily activities of our ancestors. These activities look tough, isn't it? Therefore, I would firmly agree with the statement saying life was not easier a century ago, as the life in the past was lack of technologies, machineries, and creative inventions. There were still serious gender inequality issues, and they were also experiencing poor health systems. The first point I would like to talk about is the lack of technologies, machineries, and creative inventions. In olden times, most people worked physically and carried out various activities by themselves. Human labor and working animals were often used as the workforce for economic activities. So, people back then had to work tougher as they were doing everything by their own hands. As we could see in the slide, farmers in bygone days were using bulls to plow the lands, while for today, lots of agricultural machines had been invented and used widely in the agricultural sector. Hence, we could hardly see human labor and working animals in the center of a paddy field anymore. Instead, machines like plowing engines had replaced them. Next, we could also see the changes in the mode of transportations. In former times, long-distance walking or riding on animals to get daily needs had become the norm. However, in some cities, there were some other options of transportations, like human labor trishaws, bullock carts, and horse carriages. But it might cost some money. So they were usually being used for emergencies or used by the wealthier people as their transport. Yet, nowadays, we can see aeroplanes, cars, and monorails everywhere. Technologies have invaded our daily lives silently, and we are benefiting a lot from them. We could easily reach our desired destinations in a shorter time. Some wealthy people even own private helicopters and cruises. So traveling far and roaming around the world could happen in just a blink of an eye. Therefore, life was not easier without modern inventions. Secondly, gender inequality a century ago was higher too. Disparity between males and females in terms of education, jobs, and lifestyles were larger back then. Women usually were inhibited from going out to work and socialize. For them, they had the conservative mentalities that women should only live at home, spending the half of their lives learning about sewing and cooking. Women should also just wait at home to be married by somebody. Meanwhile, men will go out to work. They are also sent to school for education. They could play outside and meet new friends. The large diverse in men and women lifestyles in the past caused gender inequality. But at present, we could see a great change in the community. Lots of conservative mentalities have been abolished now. Women have our own rights to decide our lives today and also could be a leader. Thus, gender equality is promoted widely in our society today as most people are being open-minded. For this reason, I would mention again that life was harder 100 years ago, especially as a woman in the past. Last but foremost, health systems in a century ago were poor as advanced technologies like CT scan, defibrillator, laser treatment, and more medical equipments had not been invented. Higher poverty rate in olden times caused a higher mortality rate, since health facilities were hard to reach back then. People had no money to consult doctors, and health facilities were also so limited. So these conditions were causing the medical services offered became too expensive. Thus, as we could see in the graph, child mortality rate in a century ago was reaching a higher number compared to today. Furthermore, previously the community were mostly illiterate, so they did not care much about personal health care. Hence, people in the past often ended up being caught with illnesses. As in the pictures, we could see the comparison between children in the past and children nowadays. Formerly, due to poverty that the children were facing and lack of nutritional knowledge, they were suffering from nutritional deficiencies. Nevertheless, at this moment, we have lots of modern inventions and professional healthcare providers that are providing us quality medical care and services. Public hospitals that are low in cost are also available in countries like Malaysia. So, medical providers are easier to be approached by everyone today. Accordingly, I will restate my stand that people are having a harder life in the past as they were experiencing poor health systems. Overall, I would like to point out again that life was not easier a century ago. People must struggle harder than us to achieve their daily needs or dreams. Thus, we should appreciate the contributions of our ancestors as they were the ones that made their efforts to bring those modern inventions and technologies to our lives today. Without their hard work, we might not enjoy their fruit of success. So we must appreciate these conveniences that our ancestors had brought to us. By utilizing our knowledge to contribute to the societies in the future, let's make our descendants easier in the future and be sure to not forget about the past and our ancestors. Thank you.